Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Please don't forget to subscribe.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Blow the Whistle Sports. I'm your host, Wayne Holloway, and thank you once again for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, and share. And like always, if you want to see something on our show or you have a bright idea that you want to see us implement on the show, drop them in those comments below or hit us on any one of our social media outlets. Holler at us, we holler back. But we got a full show for you guys here today. But first, let me introduce you to my co-host, and he goes by the name of Mr. Patrick Nagel. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well, sir. How are you?
I'm okay. How was your weekend?
Well, my weekend was great. It was a little busy, a little hectic. I spent the weekend working at the Mission Foods NHRA here in the greater Seattle area. So I was at the drag races all weekend, listening to loud cars and smelling nitro fumes.
So you was getting high.
Yeah. Well, a good time was had by all. We can really, for those, if anyone's really interested in motorsports, we can talk about that and my experience at different motor events. I've been to a lot of them and been on the sponsorship side, gotten the opportunity to meet a lot of the drivers, a lot of the legends of the sport. And it's an interesting, enjoyable weekend. The highlight of the weekend for me, of course, was I got to hang out with Mini Kiss. So,
Wow.
If you've never looked up Mini Kiss, I encourage you to do so. They are fun, they are funny, and they can play. So shout out to Mini Kiss. Appreciate you. The concert was awesome. A good time was had by all.
I'm jealous. I wish I was there just to take it all in, experience it, man.
It is it's great, man. And I one thing about the drag racing that I really enjoy is the just the way that the drivers are accessible to the fans throughout the entire weekend. If you want to meet a driver, it's very, very easy to do so. Go to their pits. They have autograph signings throughout the entire venue. They're among the crowd. They're accessible. They talk to the fans. Lots of little kids walking around with blown up parts off the cars, like, pistons and tires and all kinds. So it's really, in a world of sports where maybe the athletes don't always make the time for the fans, the drag racers, they really do. And they really, they mean it, and they love the interaction, and it's pretty exciting.
And that's what I like. I like a mogul or a celebrity that understands giving back. You make all this money from the fanatics, from the fans. I mean, what is it? A couple minutes of your time. And I understand it gets annoying when you have that household face that everybody knows and everybody always wants to talk to you, but that's the price of being a celebrity, isn't it?
It is indeed. And you know what? If anyone out there is really interested, you can go to the broadcast and you might just maybe see someone you recognize on there.
Wow. We're gonna have to talk a little more in depth about that because I want to pick your brain and get into it. You know who's into that more than me?
Who's that?
My wife. My wife loves that. Well, and as soon as she hears about that, you're gonna get an earful. Because my goodness.
I just might be able to, hook you guys up down in the greater Pomona area when the drag racing comes to Pomona. So
hey, well, I'm definitely gonna let her know because she loves those cars. When we went to Carolina, she had to go to the NASCAR museum.
Yes,
just my goodness,
the NASCAR museum right by the stadium where who's it called the Hornets play. It's right around the corner.
Yep. When we go to a game, we normally stay in that area and frequent everything in the area. When we go, we live it up as soon as we hit Charlotte.
Great city.
Oh my goodness.
I do know. I'm not wearing the hat today, but I know. I've spent some great time there. But
well, let's jump right into it. Last week,
let's do it.
We talked about something that me and Patrick are both highly against basically is sports being rigged. Are sports rigged? And I said we wanted to go further down this rabbit hole where for a few Mondays we're going to just go over what's really going on in people's way of thinking of this. And we have a person tonight that I want to introduce. He is an actor, producer. You can see his works on Tubi and Apple TV, and his name is Sean Cook. Sean Cook, how are you doing, sir?
Hey guys, can you hear me? The phone's a little breaking up a little bit. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, we can hear you.
You guys, I can't hear you guys, but okay, I can hear you guys. Go ahead. It's breaking up a little bit.
Okay. Sean Cook, can you hear us?
Yeah.
All right.
Hello?
All right. We wanted to ask you some questions. Okay. I don't know. He's having some difficulty, so we'll wait to see what's going on with that. But in the meanwhile, well, I don't know. Let's talk about until we able to get to the person that we wanted to interview, which was Sean Cook. He's having some internet problems. We know about those things, but there we go. Hello, Mr. Cook.
Yes, sir.
Can you hear us
Sorry
better
about that.
now?
Look, his phone was breaking up. I can hear you loud and clear. I don't know if you can hear me, but you guys were really staticky, man.
We can hear you perfect right now. Perfect.
Beautiful.
So
Okay. Go ahead. What's your question, sir? Thank you for having me as well. I appreciate you guys.
can you tell us a little bit about your before we get into it about your hip hop circus?
Of course. Hip Hop Circus is a actual TV series, streaming series, and we are on Tubi as well as Apple TV, Real Good TV. We streamed over about 2 million views. We're coming with season 2, but it's kind of talking about the conspiracy of hip hop, things like that. The World 2, rap moguls with the hip hop police, following special unit, government police people don't know about. So it's kind of deep. 6 series, 30 minutes each. Check us out on Tubi.
Yes. You guys go ahead and check that out. But I was talking to Sean Cook. I had ran into him, and he was expressing some things about sports and about it being rigged, some things that he maybe felt or he heard through the grapevine. I just wanted to get a little bit deeper into it to really where do you stand on that? How do you where did you first hear about it, and what are your feelings about it?
Excuse me, guys, coming out of the restaurant. But my sports, it's not even just what I heard. I mean, it's obvious unless you're in a different frequency. I don't know what world you live in, and you love sports so much. I think you're blinded by. You have referees even coming out telling you from basketball to football, but it's definitely rigged. I mean, referees have come out with the Allen Iverson conspiracy and things like that, and they were telling us that they intentionally were calling carry on Allen Iverson on purpose. You know, just the league put like pretty much a black label on Allen Iverson, and they were calling, just like they did Dennis Rodman when they kept calling Tex, or Meta World Peace when they kept calling Tex. Like they kind of get a mark on him. But Allen Iverson was definitely the one, and the referee who got caught gambling said that, games were rigged. And that's just that. Even NFL players have come out and said, games were rigged. Of course, he was fired after saying it, but I remember an NFL player coming out saying that these games are being scripted.
Well, that's a going thing. Every game is scripted because they have a certain amount of plays that they draw up before the game. That's also called a script, not meaning that the play is going to work, but we're going to go through this 15, 20 plays just in case, because when you go to a different person's field, especially Seattle, where the 13th man is the crowd being loud, so you can't really call plays in. So NFL teams, they script their play calling, so therefore there's not an issue. You know what play comes next. So that's where that script came in at, and people ran with it because they didn't understand. But what referee said that it was scripted? Not scripted, but rigged.
Tim Donahue.
Tim Donahue. Okay.
Yep, that's him. And now I can now think about this for a second. If you say that, if you can admit that much, so you're telling me how much these sports is make? We're talking football, basketball, every sport. This is $1 billion business. Each one making crazy money. You really think for a second they don't have the ability to script who's going to score, who's not going to score, who's touchdown? They script out careers. They script out games. So if they're scripting these games, you said the play's going to work. They also script the games to saying this play. They let the defense know that this play has to work. That's how you script the game. If they call whatever it may be called, whatever the play may be, they know you have certain. I'm not saying every player in the NFL knows this. No, every player doesn't know. I'm sure if you're close to the league, certain conspiracies I'm going to talk about. The ones that are high-level players, the ones that are so-called in the club, they know. They set plays. Look, same thing with basketball. With this fake GOAT thing with LeBron James. It's like it's all fake. It's like, come on. Unless you had eyeballs, what frequency are you in? Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. But they're trying to force feed us LeBron James. And I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. I'm from Cleveland. But I got eyeballs and I came from basketball and I know the game, but they're scripting the reality of people to tell us LeBron James is better than Michael, which is insane crazy. It's just a script. It's all scripted.
But on that topic, Sean, don't you think that that's just people talking to generate views and clicks, versus the actual game being rigged? I mean, that those are two very different things. The debate between who's the greatest basketball player is just something to drive ratings because there's no real answer, right? I mean, you can, it gets into people's opinions and it's less about fact and more about how people feel. So, I mean, saying a sports outcome is predetermined and rigged versus, that the people are trying to make us think a certain way. Those are two different things. Would you agree with that? Or do you think that that's not true?
Yes, I agree with that. But it's just, I agree with that. Definitely. I think that's just some of the things that happen with these, to us in the world I live in, the fairy tale sports world, where they come with these things. But going back to games being rigged, we speaking on basketball, football, or what would you rather speak on?
All the above.
Okay, all the above. So main thing is, it's obviously just like the World Cup. Everything, they have an agenda. It's about making money. A lot of, even with the gambling, sports gambling right now, they was just talking about like the NBA finals, how it was rigged. There's no, the Knicks was not supposed to win that the way they won that. Like it was rigged. The way they put the Cavs in, certain games were rigged. Teams were placed there the way they wanted to put teams there. They have rumors of, and I know you guys are going to think I'm crazy because my father thinks I'm crazy, but we're in the future. Come on, that's the future. You really think they can't have smart balls? They got smart balls. They got smart basketballs. They have magnets in the ball. They decide the ball go in and out. Even the Harlem Globetrotters play with Magnum balls. That's how they're able to hit these crazy shots. So do I believe that the games are rigged? There's no question. It's right. It's blatantly showing you the games are rigged. They got Steph Curry looking like he's better than Larry Bird. But you guys have no clue of the technology of the NBA. They decide when that ball goes in and goes out. You go back and look, some of them games, I don't care how good Michael Jordan was, how good Kobe was. If you go back and look at some of those games, you can see how the ref intentionally didn't make certain calls or made certain calls to push whatever the script said. The referees can control the game. One or two players can control the game. It doesn't take everybody. You don't need everybody. The referee can ruin a game. A referee can change the game. Do you not know that? Can decide if a game win or lose. Do you not understand that a referee can control the game?
Well, I agree. A referee can control a game. I guess my question would be, there's a difference between the human element of a referee and dramatically attempting to control the outcome of a game. I mean, if you look in history books, yes, Tim Donahue did plead guilty to gambling related charges. He made some veiled threats that maybe some other people were possibly involved, but that was never substantiated. And I would more liken it to be he got caught, and as more and more, if you watch his documentary, he didn't sound like someone who was very contrite about it, and he, didn't want to maybe look like the only guy. But I don't know. I guess I would find it a little hard for something of that nature to that level that you're describing, like technology to make not allow shots
Magnets
to
in
go
the
in.
ball.
Wouldn't there'd have to be thousands and thousands of people that would have to be a part of that and know that. How would you keep them all quiet?
What thousands are we talking?
Well, okay, you just said the ball.
You said what thousand are we talking?
Someone had to make that ball.
Steph Curry knows. Let's say this: if Steph Curry knows, which we all know he's a Mason, high ranking. If Steph Curry knows and the ref knows, it doesn't matter what the players know. If you got a smart ball, we start a basketball league tomorrow at a church somewhere. We got a smart ball, and nobody knows except me, and they can make me look like I'm LeBron James if everything I shoot goes in. The smart ball decides. Do you really realize the technology that we have?
I probably have a better understanding of technology than you. I probably have a better understanding of technology than you think. But what I'm saying is, someone would have to design that. Someone would have to make it, and they would have to then cooperate with the ball maker. So all those people would have knowledge that such a thing even existed. And then who's programming? Who's deciding?
Pull it up. Research it. You can see it right now. I'm not making this up. This is
I'm not saying you're making it up. I'm saying if it was actually
you can pull this up right now. What I'm showing you. Smart balls are very real. You can pull that up. Like if that's what you're asking me, if you could pull that up right now, you can find out smart basketballs are very much a real thing. Excuse me, guys. We're loading up our truck. Smart basketballs are a real thing. You can look that up online. You'll see guys doing it. They call it magnets on the ball. So that's just information you don't have yet. Also, a lot of information you don't have that I know you don't have is, first of all, I played the game. I played high school, played college ball, and a little bit of semi-pro basketball. I've been around a lot of the athletes, seen a lot of these guys play. Now, can you rig sports? Yes, it's so easy. It don't take thousands of people. If it's a secret society involved controlling it, everybody won't know. They doing it right in your face, and they're doing a good job, because look how we having this conversation. You guys are oblivious to the fact that they're actually rigging games.
Oh, no, I'm just listening to everything that you're saying,
one game,
taking it in, all in.
Oblivious to it. They control everything. College, sports, every sport. And your guys are oblivious, so obviously doing a good job. But there's a lot of us who can clearly see the veil. We clearly can see these games are being rigged. They rigged the NBA Finals. They rigged the World Cup. It's rigged. Everything is controlled. They decide who, what, when, and where. Period.
If the World Cup was rigged,
who owns the rolling? Because I'm doing the hip hop circus. My next movie needs to be the NFL circus, the NBA circus. If I had the budget. But they probably want to take me out. It's easy to show how they rig these games. It's not hard. All you need is a few people. You choreograph stuff. You choreograph games.
To choreograph, everybody has to be in on it.
A lot of people are in on it. If you go back and look at some of Mike Tyson fights, they're showing his fights for rigged. Guys are getting knocked out that didn't even get hits. If you go back and do your homework, a lot of this stuff is already rigged, but it's so clear. But it's hard once you put the glasses on. It's extremely hard to make somebody put them on. And you guys I'm talking to guys who really love sports so much. That's the problem. I'm talking to guys who love sports. So you guys, if you love
played
sports,
it, so evidently you loved it at once too. You
refuse to believe that this sport you love is rigged. Go ahead.
You played it once too, right?
I played. Say it again.
You played it also. You said you went semi-pro, so you loved it also.
Basketball, yes, I played basketball and football, but I played basketball more of a higher level.
So when you play, were your games rigged?
I didn't play at Ohio State. I played at a small D1 school at Youngstown
So
State.
The question was, the games that you played in,
were
were your games rigged?
You're talking about when I'm 18, 19 years old, when I was still asleep. So I was in the matrix asleep, so I wouldn't really know. Because I'm awake now. So at the time when I was asleep, and I go back and remember games where they did like push an agenda that they wanted, but we still played our game. You understand what I'm saying? But
when you say agenda and people,
Ohio State game.
when you say agenda and people are pushing the agenda, there's an agenda behind politics. There's an agenda behind every different sport team has their own agenda. That's nothing new, and that's not a higher power saying that this team is going to win. Do they want certain teams into a certain market? I can see. I can go as far as say I can see that, but it being fixed, it means more than one person is in on it. Cheating is different from being fixed.
Of course.
But the reason
It
why
is
I'm
more
being
than one
quiet is
person.
because to understand somebody when you're explaining, I just like to hear everybody out, because you're not the only person that we're going to interview for this, and it's something else, but because to every thought, to every thing that you can think of and say, we can say something opposite to it. And that's when you get involved in who do you know that is fixing other than this referee that came out and said that it was fixed. And when he got busted, who did he tell on besides himself?
I'm glad. You know what? When the brother was talking, when the other gentleman was talking, I'm glad you said that, because I wanted to say something about that. When he was talking, I think you guys really, of course there's more. Let me just get straight to it. Of course there's more. There's a brotherhood of them, and there's more. He's not stupid. He's not going to talk. They'll kill his butt. They will kill him. So he cannot talk. He like breathing, don't he? He's still a human being. And he got caught because he did something outside of what he was told to do. Like it's just like when Magic Johnson, like they talked about Magic Johnson and Michael Jordan. Just allegedly, Magic does not have AIDS. He was point shaving, and he was told that he had to retire, and he was told to say these things. It was scripted. Michael Jordan did not retire for the reasons he retired for. He retired because they found out Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson was point shaving. This is known facts. They kept it away from the public. They spend millions of dollars to keep this away from the public, but there's a small group of people who got information, who know these things, and they know that Michael Jordan was point shaving at a time. Not every game. I can't tell you what game. I don't know. All I know is this is a science. These people don't play about their money, and they was able to rewind some tapes. They got some people that watch your butt. That watch you, that watch. It's like Vegas. They watching, everybody is watching, everybody's watching everybody. And they found out, and they said, you boys going to have to retire. And they allowed Michael Jordan to come back. I don't know all the details of everything, but I do know that sports is rigged in so many ways. Now, back to the referee, there's others. This one got caught. He couldn't tell. He's not going to tell on nobody else. No, because I'm sure he got a clean letter. You're going to take this charge. It's just like when you get caught with it, you're going to take what you take, because we didn't tell you to do that. We chose you to do A, B, and C. We didn't tell you to do X, Y, Z. So now you did X, Y, Z. You're going to take the blame for this.
There's a brotherhood that's involved in cheating, and they're not taking care of their people enough to where they have to gamble more to make money.
I don't know, brother. I don't know. If people greedy, I don't know why he did more than he was supposed to.
But Sean, you're saying,
but I know they get phone calls from the head up. Phone calls. Even the NFL is known for that.
But Sean, you're kind of contradicting yourself here. You're saying it's a known fact,
okay,
that they were shaving, but it was kept from the public. If it's a known fact, then it wasn't kept from the public. So which one is it? Is it a known fact, or is it?
You got to understand. Okay, remember, my brother. You're talking to a guy who in production, who in media, so I can easily give it to you. Let me just say it like this: if you guys were to bring someone on your show next week, and they was to say the show was doing good, and somebody got beat up on the show. We just hypothetically speaking, they got beat up, and you could see it on the internet, and people were watching it. The guy who got beat up, if he has enough money, he could pay somebody to pull that video off. You know what I mean? Now, people will see it. Maybe the 500 or 600 or 1,000 people that saw it could see it, but he could pay somebody. Like, media is control. You could pay people to pull stuff. A lot of people didn't see the video. So maybe 500 people saw it, but how many people in the world? There's millions of us out here. Millions. Everybody didn't tap into the show to see that guy got beat up. Only 500 people saw it. So only 500 people going to tell about another 3 people. So that's 1,500 people. Okay, 1,500 people, 500 saw it, 1,500, another 1,000 heard about it, but they didn't see it. So and within 2 weeks, something else is going to happen online. They're going to forget about that. So you really think because even if a million people know that point that the games is rigged, but there's there's still hundreds of millions of people still watching sports who don't know that it's rigged. Everybody don't know. Everybody don't watch the DVDs or the podcast, or everybody's not connecting the dots. It's called detective work. Everybody not connecting the dots. If you're a fan of it, you're not even looking at that. You're blinded that. You don't even notice a car in traffic until you own that car. I sell cars for a living, used cars. I don't even notice the cars until I start buying those cars. I'm like, oh, is that a Ford Edge? You don't see it. It's been driving past you every day. You don't see it because your brain don't focus on that. But once you start to focus on something and see something, it grows. So I started to focus on point shaving. I started focusing on sports being rigged. I started doing my homework on rigging. Wait a minute, it's not just in basketball, it's in football. It's in this. I started finding out and talking to my guys who are woke, other people who are woke, like, whoa, brother, don't get it twisted. They controlling college and they controlling pros. Like, it's deep. You're like, wow.
It was just funny to me because
I started doing the rabbit hole.
After me and you started talking, before we got into this conversation, it was me, you, and two other gentlemen, and we talked for about an hour and a half over Kobe, LeBron, and Jordan. I'm talking about passionate conversation over Kobe, LeBron, and Jordan. And then when I said it was hogwash because the other two gentlemen were trying to say LeBron was this and he was that. And I said LeBron is truly a great individual, but he's not over Jordan. And for me, he's not even over Kobe. And I'm talking about, Patrick, I talked to Sean and these two guys for at least a couple hours. And then once I brought up my points and pointed out how Jordan is the man and LeBron doesn't hold a candle to him, is when the conversation turned and got shut down. I was like, you know what? I don't know why I'm even talking about this because sports are rigged. And it was just like, huh? Like, why even have this argument? Why did we spend this time? And passionately, everybody that said it was rigged, they were in this passionate conversation. And then once we got to a certain point, then all of a sudden it was rigged. Now, me being a person, if I felt the way you felt, there was no way that I would have a conversation with somebody talking about who's better in something that I think is rigged or fake. So me being a sound mind and my energy and how I go about my day, it's like you guys truly unplugged yourself from the matrix, from the from us, that simple conversation to go into something over in left field. Now, I'm not downing what you're saying. We're just trying to see, kind of untangle what people feel that feel the way, I guess the way that you guys put it out there, what you put into the universe, because it all sounds interesting. It sounds very interesting. Can we get one of them on the podcast that truly know, or is that like a secret where it's like, well, something that happened to them if they talking to us? We just want to know. We just want to, huh?
Of course something's going to happen to them. They're not going to talk to us. Are you kidding me? That never happened. They're not going to talk to us. It's not going to happen. And to answer your question about the basketball player that we argued about, the top so-called top three, I don't even think they're the top three, but just speaking on top 10. Anyway, you still need great athletes. We all know that. I don't care. It's not fake because they still allow these boys to play basketball. It's not like WWF wrestling. Like wrestling, they still hitting. They still make contact in wrestling, but it's scripted. But when you're talking about basketball, and we're talking about that, the reason why we had that argument, because there's no question Michael Jordan is still a great player, and Kobe, a phenomenal player, LeBron, phenomenal athlete. And we were arguing about these things, but overall, we know sports is rigged because even though you have these phenomenal athletes, we still decide how many rings Michael Jordan got, how many rings Michael Jordan gonna get, how many rings Kobe gonna get, how many rings LeBron gonna get. It's all that stuff was still scripted. to people who feel like sports is rigged. We just feel like that. It doesn't mean like they feel that it's just like the game is 92 to 92. They might let them play ball, and you're still going to have it where, look, Michael is not to get touched. Like Michael Jordan is not to be fouled. Every time you touch him, call the call. Like certain things, like there's certain things they just made sure that they did to push an agenda of Michael Jordan winning 6 championships. Is he still a phenomenal athlete?
One of our viewers is asking a question. They said,
go ahead.
The Hero Hub, if it's fixed, wouldn't that mean everyone we thought was legendary player is essentially trash?
No, I'm glad you said that because I thought about that. That's a great question. And that's exactly why these boys will never talk. This would kill and tarnish their whole legacy. We'll all go down the trash. So no one would dare speak on this, say this. They have too much to lose. They have everything to gain. So to answer his question is, no, they're not trash because regular guys like Joe Blow, like when they had the Joe Blows can't get on the basketball court with these people. So you got to have the best of the best still. Even with wrestling, you still got great athletes. You still got to be able to cartwheel flip. You still got to be able to land a certain way. You still got to have great athletes. Don't get it twisted, guys. You still got to have great football players. The guy still got to run a 4.2 or 4.3 to get out there so he can have this. But we're still going to control the game. Period. If we don't want we're going to control this game because let's say if the Lakers are playing whatever, who blows Joe Blow, Kobe's still going to do what he do, but we're telling the referees we want the Lakers to lose by 4. Period. The Lakers are going to lose by 4. That's just what it is because they're going to make sure it's scripted that way. That doesn't take away from the game. Michael Jordan still could dunk from the free throw line, but we still going to control the game. Magic Johnson still can throw the ball without looking and know where the guy going to be, but we still can control the outcome of the game. We can let you boys play the first 3 quarters, and we're going to control the 4th quarter. We're going to let y'all we're going to control the 1st quarter and let y'all play 2 quarters.
When we say we, who's we?
They are geniuses. They control this game. I can't tell you how they do it every time they do it, but they control the outcome.
The we people is the people that
who's the we?
Talk about. We can't talk about them because
it's the made up people, right?
We can't know them because something happened to them, but it's one of those things to where he's asking who are the we?
You say we are going to control the outcome of the game. Who's we?
Okay, do you understand who controls the Roman? It's a circus. The whole thing is a circus, just like when Julius Caesar. Everybody knows that. Like he controlled the games. Why they had that? It's the whole reason why Julius Caesar kept having this when they was feeding people to the lions and all this blah blah blah. So all this comes from that. This is why they do it in a dome and all these things they do. I'm not going to go into deep why they do all these things, but it's controlled in the arena. Now, when you're talking about sports, you got crooked people in charge of this. Who runs the NFL? Who owns these things? These guys let's talk about not team owners. Think about who owns the NFL. Think about who owns the NBA. Like these are extremely wealthy, rich people that own this. Now, these guys that own these basketball teams, own these football teams, these guys, they sit in a room that nobody's coming into. Now, you can call it the Boule, the Secret Society, the Illuminati. You call it whatever you want. Some of them run the music industry. That's why the hip-hop circus is what it is, because they're using music to weaponize to control kids. That's why people think, why does these black children run around, Mexican kids run around shooting everybody? Because the music is weaponized. They put out retarded, they sign only dumb artists, and they give them millions of dollars to put out music because they know music is going to control their minds. Music is very powerful. People don't understand how powerful music is. Now get back to sports. They control sports. They control every outcome through the best of the best. And you also got to understand something. There's a secret society of people who own all this, who run this. They control the outcome of the game. They decide who's going to be GOATs. You think Michael Jordan not going to tell us his whole legacy is not what it is? He's not going to tell us that. We know Mike can really play, but if the truth came out, do I really believe Michael Jordan really won 6 championships and I'm a Jordan fanatic and the Chicago Bulls head grew up? No, because I know sports is rigged now. So I know Mike is still Mikey, the baddest of the baddest, but I know that them 6 championships are not all official. Is the Lakers championships all official? No. Can Magic Johnson and Shaq still play? Yes. But did they push an agenda for Kobe and them? Yes, they did. Period.
They still great players, but we know there's a gender. We can see it. If you either can see it, you can't see. Period.
Well,
Well,
hold on. Let's
There's
not.
a lot of people who can clearly see this crap is rigged. The Super Bowl,
Let's,
the last Super Bowl was
Sean,
rigged. Like, you can't
Sean,
see
Sean,
this stuff. It's
Sean,
so obviously,
Sean,
you boys.
we hear you. We hear you. Patrick
Sean,
was trying to say something to you.
like that's like the fourth time that you've like insulted us, and I haven't insulted you one time. I just don't agree with
How
you.
am I insulting you guys? How am I
Well,
insulting?
you said that I'm not smart enough to see it. Okay, so let's just dispense with that. I just have a different opinion than you, and I haven't insulted you about your opinion on this matter. But I'm still waiting for the answer to my question, which is who is the we? Because if there's 32 team owners, you're telling me that the other 31 guys are just cool with not winning, that they're just going to be like, cool, my team sucks, and I'm just going to always get shafted because the Patriots are going to win. I mean, how does that work? Because if those 32 guys are all controlling and titans of their industry, aren't they going to want their turn to win at some point if the script is the script?
Because you notice how the money goes down the tube, Sean, right? If your team plays longer, once you okay, go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm going to answer this question. One, first of all, I'm not calling nobody. When I say cancer, okay, I'm very passionate with my words. If you're taking it that way, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not. What I'm saying is, it's like this. I'm not good at certain math things. I'm just not good at. Certain math I'm not good at. My girl can come in here and she can knock out some trigonometry. It doesn't mean I'm stupid. She just is better at it than me. So when it comes to seeing sports and rigging, it's not that you're stupid. It's not that you're dumb. No, you're not dumb. But because I'm just seeing things than you are. That's just what it is. Period. Now, how to answer your question? Everybody get a chance to win. Everybody get a chance. You know how much money these boys is making? They're making plenty of money. There's a lot going around. A whole bunch of money going around. So they're all going to get their chance to win. Yes, it's scripted, and they still get their chance to win. They all make billions of dollars. All of them make billions. Do you really think it's really about winning and losing? If you still come out of there a billionaire, and you was a billionaire last year, now you're a billionaire again, they're making so much money that it's not about winning all the time. That's for y'all to buy the jerseys. That's for y'all to say my team won. That's for the crowd. That's for y'all, because y'all.
I hear you, and I hear what you're saying, but you're talking about you don't become a billionaire and a titan of your industry without being an alpha male, and I think your theory loses a little bit of steam when you have individual egos, right? Like, I'm not always going to want to be the loser in the story, because not everybody does get a chance to win. If what you're saying is true, there would be it would turn around to be my turn to be, the king. But that's not the case. And there are teams that have never won, and those families still own those teams. So you're telling me that they're okay with having never had to be a winner? I just don't know if that can be true.
Games,
also,
and we never get to win.
If games were truly fixed, then why wouldn't a guy like Donald Sterling, who owned the Clippers, who got ran out of the league for being a piece of shit, and he should have got ran out of the league. I'm not saying he shouldn't have, but why wouldn't he expose this theory? Because he got ran out of the league, and he threatened to expose other things. He's old. He's a billionaire. Why does he care? Why didn't he say something?
But the thing is, it's very
because they can't talk.
But see, that's wait. That's the thing with what you're saying is, when we have these conversations, and then when we address a point, it's very convenient for you to be like, well, I see this, and nobody else can back up what I'm saying because something that happened to them. If they
can back me up. That's not true. They can back me up.
There's not a single reported.
We can have another day. I'll have my evidence. I'll have some stuff that I'll bring over to the show.
I would like it. I would like to bring you back.
I just can't. You was just thinking about a person in general. I'm like, I can't just say, "Hey, Jerry Rice, can I borrow you for a minute?" Like, I don't know these guys. But all I'm trying to say is, to answer the brother's question, because I definitely don't mean to offend anybody, and sometimes I got to be careful with my words. But what I'm trying to say is this: we're not conspiracy theorists. They used to call us conspiracy theorists. I'm what they call a conspiracy realist. I just believe what I believe, and I've done my homework on certain things, just like you believe what you believe. What I've learned is we all live in different worlds. But what I will say is this. For me and for the people who I've been around and have conversations with, I've been around different places, living in different cities, different states. I'm from Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio. And I lived in LA. I lived in New York, lived in LA, and I also lived in Atlanta. And I've had different conversations with different people. Everybody has their opinion. And you guys are not the only ones who fight. Like, are you kidding me? They can't rig sports. So it's not the first time I've heard this. But I've also had conversations with people who clearly understand and let me say it the right way so I don't disrespect nobody. I think you guys are understanding. That's the problem. Me, I understand and overstand the situation. So it's not about winning or losing. You guys are looking at it as fans, and you love these games. So it's hard. It's impossible to have this conversation with you guys. But I'm still going to do it for the sake of doing it. So it's like, bro,
You want us to take the red pill, and we just haven't taken it yet.
if you have a security, like you have a company, and you're doing very well with your company. And if I had a rival company, and the brother on the phone has a rival company, we all have rival companies. And we like, look, we got the top 3, security companies in right now in LA. We don't want nobody else to come in, but we're gonna grab. We're gonna start a league. Let's start a league, 12 companies, and we're gonna now we gatekeeping. That's all it is. We're just gatekeeping and controlling who gets what, who gets this, and what team. And we're gonna put some stuff over here to make sure that they only use our security team because we know we got this, and they don't. It's just a way of using your money and your power. And when you said, well, they're going to get tired of losing. If we all coming out of this, we telling all these other guys, like, we all going to come out of this very rich. Like, we're the top, like, y'all the top 3. We're the top 3. And y'all, we're gazillionaires. You guys are going to be billionaires. And under us going to be millionaires. Ain't nobody going to talk. Nobody's talking. And you understand what Masonic is. It's about keeping secrets. Their biggest code is, the sign and the one eye or thing and things like they big on silence. Because if you speak, you will die. I mean, there's a known fact that, when you go through the rituals, you come out of that ritual blindfolded with swords around you, with all your brothers with swords around you. Meaning, if you ever speak on anything, you will die. So that's not. So when you say, why no, well, they will die. Who wants to give up their money? Why would they give up billions and millions of dollars? Nobody's going to tell you what you want to hear. No one's going to do that. Some of the athletes, some of them have come out. Guys who don't, it ain't going to be the Walter Paytons or the Emmitt Smiths. It's not those guys. It's guys who, not big fish, who come out and said some stuff on the internet. They've said some stuff. There's stuff out there. You guys have to do your homework, but there's stuff out there, people complaining about it being rigged this year and fans complaining. And not just me, a lot of fans, not just.
Oh, we've heard this is the reason why we brought this up on the show.
There it was.
Okay.
We have to do our homework to prove to us that what you're saying is true, not the other way around.
Yes.
And that's where I have a problem with your theory.
And that's what we're doing right now is our homework, because we've opened up the table for people so we can hear what they're saying. We want to hear what you're saying.
You're not the only person. I'm just waiting for some type of evidence and fact to support your claim.
I believe that, but I really believe that if you could get another 2,000 people to get on here and say exactly what I'm saying in different ways, and you guys are going to do what you believe because you guys love the sport.
But that's not. You're saying that because you can't prove your theory. That's why. Because that's not true.
My theory. What is that?
We want you to come back. We want you to come back next.
NBA Finals.
We want you to come back next Monday, and I want you to have a little more proof. And we're going to look into some stuff that you're talking about because, like I said, we're doing a 4-episode thing about this so we can sum it all up. And but next time I want you to be on the where we can see you. We want to see you, sir.
That was the whole purpose.
I thank you for coming and expressing everything that you expressed.
Hey, I appreciate the debate.
Hey, me too. Like I said, right now what we're doing. Like the next show, the next person that you hear us talk to, you heard us. We're not fighting you. We're just listening to you. We want it to be put out there because no matter what, whether we agree, disagree, I understand what the way you're thinking about it. I don't have to agree, just like you don't have to agree with me. But we want to just kind of sum it all up to where people watching, our followers, everybody. They can all chime in so we can get it from this understanding to this understanding, because yes, right now it's convenient that I'm hearing it from you, but everything that you're saying, I could say about anything, and my point would be so valid because when you're making these points out of thin air, and that's why I want you to come back so then you can maybe have some hardcore concrete where it doesn't seem like it's just like Gazoo on my shoulder, presto changeo. It's one of those things like
Man, you
it's
dated
easy
yourself.
to say, but
It's not,
prove it.
but yeah, but you guys are asking for something that's not written on paper. I mean, these are games you can go look at. You can go look at that when the
But
Cavs beat the
perception
Steph
is
Curry.
everything.
That was rigged. If you want an example, go look at the Cavs game. The Cavs wasn't supposed to win that. When LeBron James, I'm from Cleveland. When LeBron James won that championship in Cleveland, Ohio, that was rigged, bro. We came back from a 3. That's impossible, man. That crap was rigged. Go back and look at that. That was rigged. You want an example of a rig?
Well, as a Warriors fan,
one in Cleveland, Ohio, that was rigged.
As a Warriors fan, I would say that the part that was, quote, rigged was that the NBA suspended Draymond Green for that game, which then opened the door for the Cavs to come back. But I'm not going to agree that it was the whole outcome was predetermined. My team lost, and I'd love to sit here and blame some other societal pressures, but I'm having a hard time getting there. But we'll come back. We'll talk about it. And again, I love the debate, but I'm not trying to be insulting.
Next Monday, next
Monday we have the comedian on, so that'll be the Monday after that.
Well, yeah, okay. Well, yeah, the Monday after that. But please,
okay,
I'm gonna stay in touch with you. We want to have you back on. Thank you for calling in, and please let's get the link together so you can be in the studio where we can see each other face to face. It's a better deal that way. You feel me? And good luck on Hip Hop Circus. I look forward to seeing the second season, and we'll see you in 2 Mondays.
Yeah, go check out Sean's show, man. Go check it out. I'm gonna check it out. I'm excited to check it out.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
Thanks, Sean.
Thank you for your time, sir.
Okay.
All right, later. Hey, like I said, this was going to be a deep dive, and when it's totally against how you look at things, I'm not going to put anybody down. Like I told Patrick, we talked about this, but at the same time, just having that space where it's like you can, like I tell you, I got a genie in the lamp. Oh, well, can I use your genie in the lamp? No, because if I use it, then somebody might get hurt. But I use it when I want to use it, and it's real. You get them? It's
well, just for our listeners' sake, and we'll talk about this again if Sean comes back. But there is no evidence that such a system exists of the quote smart basketball. So Googled it, put it through AI. I mean, of course, they could be scrubbing the AI so we don't see it, but according to this, it says
we're in the Matrix.
Correct, because it says here that no such technology exists. And I'll just stick with my main point, and that is, again, I have a really hard time believing that the entire outcome of any sporting event is predetermined or scripted, because it would require way too many people to be involved to keep it a secret. And if I'm on my deathbed and I have cancer and I'm jilted, and why wouldn't I spill the beans? Why wouldn't I let the cat out of the bag? Or this world, there's too many media outlets now with podcasting and social media and the ability to do. I mean, if Edward Snowden can leak millions and millions of secrets out onto the internet, why wouldn't someone have released this? So I just have a hard time getting there, but that doesn't mean I'm right. I could be wrong, but that's just
you being nice, because
yeah. Well, I don't want to be disrespectful.
Bottom line, we know about secret societies because somebody opened their mouth. They're not secret.
Correct.
They're called that because they used to be a secret,
Right. They
But
were at one time.
somebody opened their mouth.
Mhm.
Somebody always opens their mouth, whether it be in passing, changing of the guard, being disrespected.
But listen, I'll go one step further. If the NBA was rigged and it was scripted for the Warriors to go up 3-0 and then lose, and Draymond Green to get suspended, Draymond Green, who isn't exactly have the greatest filter, who has his own podcast, why wouldn't he have said something at this point? Because he doesn't seem to give a crap about any repercussions about anything. So, and that's a guy that plays for my team, and I say that with love. But I do want to say, Jersey, thank you for the shout out about my hat. I appreciate it. I agree. This hat is fire, much better than that crappy blue Dodger BS that Wayne normally wears. But
Here we go.
sorry,
Here we go.
that's not that hat's
Storm
fire.
blows.
That hat, I like that hat, but some of the other hats you'd be wearing are trash. I just want to point that out.
Okay. There we go. Tell me how you really feel.
I do want to get off that topic for a second.
Yeah, let's go.
And the LeBron Watch 2026, as I have called it on this show many times, is over. Everyone has heard the news that LeBron has signed with the Sixers, which I am gonna say something, and it's simply this: LeBron put out statements through his agent, Rich Paul, that this was about family. This was about him finding a good place. This was about a lot of things. And that all turned out to be BS, because what this was really about was finding the team that had, in his opinion, the best and easiest path to the finals so he could win another ring, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. Where I have a problem is, don't say it's because you want to enjoy your final 2 years or your last year, or this is a family decision or whatever it is, and then turn around and go to a team to make that team quote unquote a super team to have an opportunity to win another ring. I believe that he's not happy that he has the same amount of rings as Steph Curry, and he wants to have the most rings of his era. Which, by the way, is all okay and to go do, but I kind of feel he said one thing and did another, because we all know that if the LeBron experiment in Philadelphia doesn't work, do you think the Philadelphia media is going to go easy on LeBron? You think that it's going to be a happy place to be playing out your basketball time if that team isn't winning or isn't in first place or winning by 20 points? So for me, I feel a little bit of the old bait and switch here as to what he put out and what he actually did. I could have totally understand him going back to Cleveland for the sentimental reason of making his career a full circle opportunity. I could have understood him going to play with the Warriors, where he reportedly has a great friendship with both Steph Curry and Draymond Green, which that would have been about friendship and enjoying his time. Also, the Bay Area puts their arms around their players and their heroes. That the media in the Bay Area doesn't tear them down like they do maybe in Philadelphia, and as we've seen in New York time and time again. I guess what I'm just saying is, he went to a team that he felt had the greatest and easiest path to a championship. And I wish that that's just what he would have said, because it would have maybe eliminated a lot of the back and forth. And I'm having a hard time buying that, it was up until the night before that he made a decision or all this. I just, and I'm not being a jilted lover, because I've said before, with LeBron or without LeBron, I'm a Warriors fan no matter what.
Right.
The only reason I wanted LeBron to go to the Warriors was because I thought it would be fun to watch, and I thought it would also be fun to watch the rest of the league melt down. But all I'm saying is, if LeBron struggles or the Sixers don't start out hot, how do you think that media in Philadelphia is gonna react to that?
Oh, it's going to boil over. But I said
fast.
that on paper the team looks great.
course.
Who's going to hold on to the ball? Who's going to be the person chucking that ball up the most? Who
Jaylen Brown?
Who?
I don't know. And that's a lot of pieces to get. That's a lot of play styles to get all on the same page and quickly, right?
Yes.
Between Embiid, Maxey, Jaylen Brown, and LeBron. Those are a lot of. That's a lot of how are they going to fit in? I mean, listen, they might fit in and they might blow the doors off everybody, and maybe that's what's going to happen. But I just feel like once again, this was another ego play by LeBron to keep himself at the top of the media cycle. Similar to the decision and similar to his signing with the Lakers. I just feel like it's he holds the league hostage. The league comes out and says we're not going to release our schedule until LeBron signs. I mean, and honestly, I think Adam Silver, in my opinion, bowed down and basically, in contrary to our guest a little bit ago, he allowed the inmate to run the asylum and not the other way around.
Right.
Where hey, we're releasing our schedule, whether where you play is where you play, and we don't give a shit. But excuse my language, but I just get frustrated when the league. I can't imagine the NFL ever stopping for any individual player. I can't imagine baseball, but they're not supposed to. But I just don't. I can't think of any other professional sport that would have come out and said we're holding off our schedule until we know where this player is going to sign.
And do you know how much LeBron's getting paid?
$5 million.
And he still controls the NBA.
That's right.
At that salary.
That's right.
Remarkable.
Well, I mean, it's a credit to his longevity and his marketability and his viewership. And I know there's LeBron fans out there. I might call them LeBron sycophants because I'm a fan of my team. I am not a fan of individual, and I don't worship like one guy. I mean,
that's me.
And listen, my wife says that I passed the loyalty test because I've been a Carolina Panther fan for all these years, and they've had some dark years. I'm not jumping to the next bigger, better thing.
And it would have been easy to.
Exactly. I could have jumped on many bandwagons over the years, but that's not what it's about, and when your team finally does win a championship, that's why you see true fan bases so passionate and emotional because, you've seen something that your whole lifetime you've been waiting
over time. Yes.
And
lifetime.
So, but to each their own. If you want to be a LeBron fan, be a LeBron fan. I mean, like that's awesome. Good for you. But that's not what I do. But and I find it interesting that basketball is the only of those sports that works, where people are fans of the players, not the teams in some respect, whereas that's just not the case in all other sports. But anyways, but yes, LeBron watch is over. He has signed. He's a Sixer. Sounds like we're going to have some conversations with him. Was it Wednesday or Monday we're talking about that?
Wednesday.
Okay.
Wednesday. We're supposed to, but like I said, this person had a problem connected to jumping into the studio, and
well, maybe it was the controlling we that didn't want him to go public, and they were blocking. He didn't have his tinfoil shielding in his house, so he couldn't.
It had to be something like that because I promise you, we went through this earlier in the day. We tested everything out; it worked perfectly.
Well,
and then soon as we got into, I'm gonna have to look into that because the next time you come on and put the tinfoil around my head with the antennas.
He leaked what he was gonna say. I mean, also he's coming out of a restaurant, which didn't make any sense to me because he was in his living room earlier, but that's okay. All good. But yeah, so that was one thing we wanted to touch on. Also, most NFL training camps have now begun, so football is getting closer and closer. We're about 12 days away from the first preseason game.
Oh, when is the first preseason game?
August 6th.
Oh yeah, We
And
are that close.
And unfortunately, our beloved Panthers suffered a pretty devastating injury news before training camp started, with our starting right tackle having a embolism in his lung, and then our really exciting second-year player Nick Scorton tearing his ACL in the first practice of the season. So heartbreaking.
Don't they realize I got money on this? What's going on?
Yeah, where's the we on that? Yeah, so all good, but that's
We'll be all right.
You know what? This is why you build a team of depth and you don't rely on one individual.
It's more than just that person on the roster. Next man up. Next man up. That's why you build
all I got, Wayne.
deep. Oh man. But we'll see y'all Wednesday, 7 p.m. here, Blow the Whistle Sports. Hey, that was a deep one. I got to go back and look this over, because if we have conversations where people can just come in with blanket statements and we can't push for the proof, or somebody will get hurt, that's weird in itself.
Don't
weird
the kids call that sus, Wayne? Don't the kids call that sus?
Very sus. But
all right.
I guess that's how things are done these days. To get your point across, you can say anything without no repercussion. Just, I said that, and you can't challenge me, because who can you challenge me with? Because they're high ranking and they can't say anything. But we're gonna deep dive into this. This is not over. I got more opinions coming, and we're gonna listen to it, and it's a whirlwind. We'll see y'all next Wednesday, 7 p.m. Have a good one. Like, subscribe, and share. Peace out.